Well, my original plan with this video was to do the real nice DIY unboxing, before and after shots of putting the Harley Davidson electric fan assisted oil cooler on my 2018 Street Glide. Opted to do this because of the stage 4 kit I put on it, along with the climate where I live. It's extremely hot. So between the two, extreme weather, stage 4 kit, figured it might be safe to add some additional cooling to the air-cooled motor. So it says plug and play, advertised as. This just pops off. Had it pretty much ready to go for the video. Has the typical rubber grommets that came off with the cover. They should have stayed on the bracket there, but just pop right back on those holes there on the bottom. So a picture of what it looks like when it's on. The instructions say plug and play. Now, for the most part, it probably is. There is one sentence in the directions, number 5. You can pause this if you want to read all the instructions. But number 5 there, remove exhaust system. To me, that doesn't constitute plug and play. It's no big deal to take the pipes off, but I wouldn't say that's plug and play. That's pulling the whole header system off. Now, the reason they want you to do that is access to the hose coming out of the motor. I think this is the one that goes straight into the pump. These are the two hoses that came in the kit. I opted not to use them because of the installation issue. It's a brand new bike. The hose kits, the hoses are dated. Focus on that. This is the one that came in the kit. And it says 11/7/16. The bike's an 18 and its code was hoses were made in January. So the ones on the bike were 2 years newer than the ones that came in the box. So I didn't think there was going to be an issue with brittle rubber or, you know, time to change the hoses anyway. The reason they have you pull the headers are for easy access. Get in here to show you, to the hose clamp, the factory hose clamp, which is underneath the sending unit right there, underneath the oil sending unit. That hose there, you can get a picture of that. But it uses the factory crimp clamps. So you know, the one-time deal. It says to pull them off, and then the kit comes with supplied worm gear driven clamps, and which I used on the bottom there. So what I did, be an option maybe you want to do, maybe not. If you want to replace the hoses, if it's an older bike with older hoses, you might want to. Again, the only reason I didn't change them was because the bike was new, felt the rubbers were good. You know, was careful to take when I took them off, not to damage the ends or fray them, so that they would slip right on the new cooler and hopefully not leak, which they haven't. So, a little windy out here. Relatively easy job. Again, I didn't change the one on the top either. It has the clamp for the one coming out of the head to drain into the filter or into the cooler. Left that hose alone too. Figured it was fresh enough to reuse. The plug and play part, there's a plug underneath. Right there, as you can see the wire and the harness. It comes supplied from the factory. Has a little dust cap on it because it's not in use. Take the dust cap off and you're good to go. and it does truly plug and play. The other issue I had, it was my own fault, was the mounting screw, which is right under here. Mounts to the same bracket that holds a voltage regulator. It's right there. This distance between here and the back side of the frame, the running board mounts, isn't a very big distance. Normal Torx head socket is too long. The hose was out of the way, but couldn't get a straight on shot to that screw with the tools that I had. You probably need Torx that bends like an Allen wrench, you know, a 90-degree bend in it, relatively short. Long story short, I ended up getting about 3 turns. It's Loctited in before it started to strip, which was a nightmare. Had to eventually end up taking the whole bracket off the voltage regulator to get it on a bench to get that little screw out of there. I did, but it's one thing to keep in mind. If you're doing it, make sure that you have something that's small enough to fit between here and here. The Torx wrench 27 to screw that out without stripping it, because if you don't, you get it stripped, the whole bracket has to come off, which isn't that big of a deal. Got to unplug the voltage regulator from the back, just pull that whole bracket off and get it on a bench. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. The other side's a little more room, a little more space to get to those screws. They want you to reuse those, so if you screw them up, you got to go down to the dealer and get some more, or wherever you can get some Torx head, or replace them with chrome ones, or whatever you want to do. But try not to make that mistake that I made. It's one of the reasons this didn't turn into a complete DIY video. Turned into a nightmare over one little screw, but that was my fault. And, not having the proper tool. And that was only because it's a tight fit in there to get something bent and get it in that Torx head straight, not at an angle. I had a wobble socket that, like I said, I got about 3 turns out of it before it finally gave, and it's Loctited in there, so every turn was hard to get it off. Other than that, it's a pretty easy job. No big deal. You don't mess up like I did. The fan, it shuts off. The other thing you have to do is, once you have it installed, you have to take it to the dealer and have it flashed so it knows to turn on and off. I believe at 30-40 miles an hour it automatically shuts off. Anything under reaches the temperature it likes, it turns it on. It does blow pretty good, or you know, it draws through the filter and blows out the back in this direction, sucks it in and out. And it is the CFM on it, I would say, is pretty high. It blows pretty good. I mean, it sucks air through there, a good volume of air, so it does, I think, do its job. It's only been on there a month or two, so I don't know. I bought it within the 60 days of the factory warranty, so to keep everything under warranty, factory warranty, and so far happy with it. There wasn't any other videos on YouTube about the installation, so hope this helps you all. 2018 Street Glide fan assisted oil cooler. Hope this helps you guys. Thanks.